another amazing day at fmtraining.tv. My name is Margaret. I'm here with the wonderful and amazing Nick Hunter, who is hiding in a corner. Let me get him real quick. Nick. There we go. There he is. Hey, Nick. Nick is here to discuss about the UI UX for the FileMaker platform. He's probably like the best authority on that. Today we are specifically discussing iPad, which is quite interesting. So that'll be really quite fun. Real quick, let's talk about the schedule. So today we have, we've got UI UX for iPad today, and then tomorrow we have open FileMaker server Q&A. If you have FileMaker questions, please bring them. If you'd like to support the channel, feel free to grab the FM Training Annual Subscription Bundle. It is 100+ hours of high-energy video content. Nick is the presenter, Rich is the presenter, Jake is the presenter, all that jazz. If you want to become a FileMaker intermediate, like FileMaker developer, and like know how to do your own stuff and like really complete your own projects, feel free to grab this. This will pretty much round out your knowledge, how to approach pretty much anything. Or if you're like, I got specific things I want to know about that aren't being talked in the live stream. We talk about a lot of that stuff here.
So today we are going to end the 3 days of the iPad, design for iPad, right? So we started with what the difference between a touch device and the desktop, right? And so I explained that the difference is the way we handle it, the way we position ourselves from the device, and how we interact with the device, the mouse and the finger and stuff like that. So that was making the difference. So yesterday we learned how to manipulate columns, and how we can split a layout and rearrange the layout and stuff like that. And we learn about modifying the navigation, right? And but today I want to again follow up a little bit on what I was saying yesterday, because I think something is missing. So I want to make sure that everybody got the picture. So yesterday I was showing that we switched from that layout to the iPad layout, right? So, but something I want to make clear. So to get an iPad layout out of a desktop layout that quickly, you need to have your desktop layout to be extremely modern. So that being said, you need to have a desktop layout that follow rules of today. They're not the rules of like 10 years ago. So as I said yesterday, and I want to make sure that everybody understand that, we have today design standard that are common with desktop and touch, and pretty much is the touch guidelines that went and rushed into the desktop world. It's not the other way around, right? So the touch influenced and changed the way desktop are working. The best example is the Launchpad, for example. This type of things is typically something from touch, because pretty much it's the springboard, because this is how we call that. On the iPad you have the springboard, right? Where you have the icons. So that pretty much that's what you have. Yeah. So I know that Microsoft is completely gone from the touch world, unless they have the Surface kind of a tablet. But even Microsoft Windows is really influenced from the touch kind of a world, right? With the Metro kind of interface they have. So even Google, they merged. So they merged their both worlds together, right? So in FileMaker, we need to do the same, right? And that's why in 2 weeks, we are going to start a series of 4 weeks of the design, advanced design. So we are going to talk about, First, we are going to talk about master details in much, much deeper than what I've done. And we are going to talk about many other things in the future. So I'm going to explain all this. I'm going to explain pretty much how to get a layout like this, okay? This type of layout that I'm showing right now here, it's the best way to organize data in FileMaker today because it complies with everything you want to do, okay? So what you want to do is you want to get something looking good, quickly, easily, and you want something you can reuse, something you can duplicate multiple times, and you want consistency. Okay, so all of those concepts, I'm going to explain that in 2 weeks, right after the iPhone. Next week is we're going to talk about the iPhone, and after that we're going to talk about all of those advanced kind of design thing, right? So, and I think the boss wants me to talk much more about design, and he's right. Design is the most important things. And I'm going to show you, and I did many times a demonstration that when you have the right design, you save yourself like all the trouble because you have the right design. So it's very important. The design is very important in FileMaker, and more than ever important. Okay, so I want to show. So I want to talk about that. So you need to get a layout well done in the desktop, and then you'll get it for iPad very quickly, okay? And even though if you don't have the desktop layout and you want to build an iPad layout from scratch, this type of design is the right way because it's a master detail, right? Always, like I said yesterday, think about your layout or portraits. You never think about it landscape, okay? You think your layout portrait. If you need a landscape layout, you need to build both, right? You need a portrait and a landscape layout, right? So that being said, yesterday we talked about the navigation, okay? And so this here, so this here, it's the iPad layout, right? And when you click here, you have the list of contacts, right? So that's the iPad layout, right? So now this here is not the main navigation. This is a navigation, right? For accounts. So yesterday, this is a contact, right? So a contact, right? So yesterday, somebody, I think David Angel asked me, okay, I thought that was the main navigation. No, it's not. It's like, because this is how FM starting point is built, right? Because that is out of FM starting point. You have accounts, contact, estimate, invoices, project, products, right? And then you have in contacts, you have what's the name? You have the related contact, the related estimate, the related invoice, related project, related task, related products, but it's not the main, you understand? So that this is how FM starting point is built. So let me bring FM starting point here. And so you will understand why I'm bringing it. We have contacts here. So this is the real FM starting point, right? So this is the final, the version that you can download if you want. So we have here 3 level of navigations. It's 3. First, we are in contacts here, right? So we are in contacts. It's clear we are in contacts, and each time you change contacts, you change the ID here. Okay. So we are in contacts. In contacts, we have the detail view, the list view, the email menu, the map, and the follow-up. Okay. That the main views of contacts. In details, you have follow-up, notes, all the red contacts, the estimates, invoices, projects, and tasks, right? So you see, we have 3 levels of navigations, 3. But I'm not going to bother too much on this menu here. I'm going to focus on the main navigation, the one we had before on top of the screen. You understand that what happened here? On top of the screen before, we had the main layout navigation, what we call the context navigation, the table navigation, table account, table contact, table estimate, table invoices. Now here, it's no longer the case, But where are those buttons now? Well, they are in what we call a hamburger menu. And this hamburger menu, right? You can have all what you want there. So in the last week, I explained, right, why this design here had a problem. Because first of all, to implement these kind of buttons is kind of painful. But the problem is you have a limitation in how many buttons you can display, right? Before it start to be busy, or before you get the problem of real estate, right? With the hamburger menu, so that we call that a hamburger menu, okay? With the hamburger menu, you don't have this problem. You don't. No, you don't have this problem. Because, when this here is a list view. So you can have how many rows you need, and you can get it because it's a list view, so you can scroll. This design here, you cannot scroll. You cannot move. You cannot. It's hard coded. It's static. This moves. Okay. Depending on the size of the window, right? You can scroll. So you understand that this on an iPad works pretty well, right? Because you just have to tap this here, and it comes on the iPad layout, right? And you don't have any problem. So let me share this. Let me share this, and get inside this. So, and I'm going to plug it. So we are in the iPad now, okay? So when you, on the iPad, right, you call the burger, and you can scroll, see, on the iPad. And something that FileMaker did good, right? Something that FileMaker did good on FileMaker Go is that if you tap outside the window, if I tap here, look what happened. Oh, I should have I must change this and say I want the close. So if you go here and you add the close button, okay. So that's important. If you go, because so the burger, it's a new window. So let's explain first what the burger is. The burger is a new window. It's a card style window. It's a card style window that I am positioning, right, on the top left corner. So it's a new window, right? The size, the 8 is the content of the window. So that means it's going to always fill up from the top to the bottom, right? And the positioning from the top is 0. And the positioning from the left is 0. And the size is the size of the 8th of the current window, right? So that means it will always fit whatever the window is. And 350 is the width of the layouts, okay? So that's why when you click here, you have a window, a card style window, right? On the top left, and 350 with the width of 350, right? So with the desktop, unfortunately, when you click outside, it's not doing anything. To close the window, you need either way a close button like this, or clicking here, clicking this will add automatically this cross here in the layout. So now on Go, so I'm on FileMaker Go, right? If I tap outside here, this means the window. So I tap the burger menu, so I tap here. If I want to dismiss the window, I tap outside. That is a particularity of Go. And to make that happen, you need to click this. If you don't click this, it won't happen. Okay? So that's why on Go, on FileMaker Go, the burger is fantastic because you can scroll, go wherever you want to go, right? And you can call it, call it dismiss. So the burger is the best navigation ever on Go, okay? So of course, this layout here is not fit for landscape, but even though if it was, for landscape, it would be working well as well, right? And you can see now the burger is all the 8 of the window, right? So now, if I want to implement something like this, in my layout here, right? So what do I need to do here to make that implementation? Pretty much the same I've done here. First, I need to copy the buttons, and I need to add this top navigation. So I'm going to part setup, parts setup. I'm creating a top navigation on this of 55, and I paste this, right? So on On iPad, I would say I would add a little bit more space, okay? Just because I prefer, this is maybe a little bit, I said maybe 60 instead of 55. Just a little bit more, because, it will feel much more comfortable like this. And you can say you're in contacts. So now, when you see that layout, you say, okay, I am in contacts, right? And now it makes more sense because I am in contacts. Obviously, I'm not going to call that home. Normally, what I said here, I said home yesterday to make sure that everybody understands. But I will say details. I will call that details, right? And I will put like an icon. I don't know. I don't have a. Oh yeah, I have a custom icon here. So for the detail, normally I have a. Yeah, but I don't have my icons here, so it's okay. We can put that something like this. Okay. Or have it already. So like this. Details or this. So you have a detail icons. Okay. Details, contacts, estimate, right? So you're in contacts here. So this, you can navigate. Now, thanks to this, you understand what's going on and you can click there, right? And get your hamburger menu, right? So on the hamburger menu, so now you see we have many, we have two levels of navigation now, okay? We have this and we have this, okay? So now nothing is more clear than this and more easy. The thing that we need to, it doesn't work. The thing that we need to make sure here, right, is that, the difficulty is for many people is to understand how clicking here, we can go to another layout, right? So, we click on we are on a window, right? We are on a window, we close, and then you go to the layout, right? So it's very simple. You go to the layout you want to go, right? So, but it's a record. So let me explain. So do we have any questions so far, Margaret?
We do not. I think we are good to go at the moment.
So. Okay. So the navigation, the simplest navigation possible is the best, right? People said, yeah, but I like to expose my navigation. Yeah, but you cannot expose everything, because otherwise, if you show everything, you lose people completely, right? You lose people completely. So you can't have everything exposed, especially because on the desktop, you remember at the beginning of this, I told you that we don't look at things the same way on the desktop and an iPad. We don't have the same angle of vision on an iPad and a desktop. So you cannot display too many things on an iPad that you could do on a desktop. You can. And that's the reason why sometimes you have so many differences between a desktop version of a website and an iPad version of the website. The distribution is not the same. You have much less things, right, on an iPad that you have on a desktop because the people are not looking. They're not saying things, because it's overwhelming. Okay. So if you want, I can show you how to get that burger menu happening, because It's not that complicated, by the way. Okay, it's a record-based technique. So you have a record. So you have a table, you know, that we call navigation. Okay. So we have a table. So in the table here, right, I have the name. I want to display the title, right? That's what I want to display on the menu. I have the order because it's a list view, so I can sort the order I want, right? I can change things if I want. I can change the order, and this will change, right? And then here, I have the name of the layout I want that record to go, okay? You understand what I mean? Because it's not easy, that's why I have a free row menu script, a freelance script. Right? When you open this and you select this, you are free. You have this variable that it's needed. You close and then you go. Right? You go to the layout. Right? So the layout. If I display the burger menu, that's why it's so simple, right? So when I double click here, I just have this. I just need two information. The number and the layout name. The number, why? Because I need to hide and show this. Okay. So I have the group of object for when it's active and the group of object when it's inactive. Okay. In the past, I had some complaints because it wasn't obvious which one was which. Now it's more obvious. So when you click here, products, home, see. So it's just to make sure the number is to say, okay, I am in the record number 1, number 2, number 3, right? So that's what I need. And then I said, go to that layout, right? So when you want to build something, let's say, you want the button that goes to that layout, for example. You copy the name of the layout, you create a new record in that table, and you say, okay, now I want to go to that layout. I didn't copy it. You say, okay, I want to go to that layout, right? And you can, say, the name, right? And when you click on that button now, you will go to that layout. So if I click here, I have the name, and then I click, I'll end there, right? So this is the fast and easier way to do a burger menu, and it's very quick, right? So yesterday I was talking about the navigation of this, right? Here on the desktop. So if we don't have any further question on the burger, I'm going to let go of the topic.
We have one real fast.
Sorry?
We have one question real quick.
Okay, go.
Could you have done conditional formatting when it is active instead of grouping two buttons?
Can you repeat? My speaker was too
No,
down.
You're good. Could you have done conditional formatting when it's active instead of grouping two buttons?
Okay, so the answer is no. I mean, okay, the answer could be yes. I mean, the conditional formatting works on this. Actually, I have one. Don't know why. Yeah, I have one. It's so why I'm using this instead of the conditional formatting, because I want to do something more fancy, right? So conditional formatting, you don't have the what's the name, this kind of what's the name, how they call that, the inner, shadow, right? So you don't have shadow. I want the shadow because it's new morphism. So I want the shadow, and you don't have the shadow under conditional formatting. And this icon is not a button icon, right? Because I don't want to create a layout with a bunch of buttons, and get them to go, right? I don't want to create this. I don't want to create something static. Or I don't want a button bar like this and make it vertical. Okay. You know what I mean? I don't want that. I don't want something like this, right? And click. No, I don't, because you lose all the benefits of the burger. You just replicate all the nightmare, of the previous system with this system, right? So you just replicate the same. Here, the advantage is to be completely free. Like, for example, here, I added this button working in no time. And it's working, it's selected, and right? So imagine that you have a button bar. So you need to go to the menu, the burger menu, add the button bar, type the name, add the scripts, right? That's why you lose all the benefits. But we want to get, we want to be able to get nice and beautiful things. So that's why, here, look, for example, when I click here, account is white and this is black. If I click here, contact is white and account is black. So how we do that without using conditional formatting? Why? Because I told you, these icons are not FileMaker glitches. What's the name? Not glitches. What's the name of the? Yeah, glyphs. They are FileMaker glyphs. Okay, this I can use conditional formatting, right? And change the icon color dynamically. I can do that, right? It was blue, now it's red, is green, right? So we can use conditional formatting on button glyphs, right? But I want record-based custom icon for that particular record. So I cannot use buttons, right? So that's why those icons here come from a library from internet, and I have two versions. I have the white version and the black version of the same icon, right? So I'm using a website named Flat Icon, right? and the website allows you to select the icon you want and gets any color you want of the same icon. So I'm going to that website and I say, okay, I want the black version and I want the white version. And those are PNGs. They are PNGs, right? PNGs. Okay. So so that's how I'm doing this. So because of that, let's say, impediment here that I have, that I cannot use conditional formatting for the icon, I have to create a block anyway, a group, right? Because I need the icon. So if I have two groups for the icons, I don't need to use conditional formatting here, right? So that's why I'm not using conditional formatting. So, do you have any questions?
I do not see anything at the moment.
Okay. So so I was talking about this group here. So you understand now. So when you're on the iPad, okay, navigation need to be straightforward. The best is the burger, okay? It will be the best. But you have exception, but the burger is the best on desktop, is the best. And that's why everybody's using it, to be honest, because it's the best option. It's super easy to implement. Okay, I just show you free line scripts. That's it. Okay, so it's not complicated. And you can get that to do much more things than just one menu. And in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I'm going to show that you can use burger menu for much more than this. Okay, and it does the job very well, especially on the iPad, because we can dismiss with the tap on the side, right? So it behaves natural, much more natural, right? Much more natural than on the desktop. So now for those here, you understand now the benefits of the bottom bar here, right? So because now we have, where's my layout? Oops. Not this one. Where's my layout? Must be this one. Okay. So on the desktop, like I said yesterday, so we solve the problem of the main navigation. Burger, boom, you call and you have invoices, products, and stuff like that. When you are in contacts, so now you are in contact, it's obvious. Okay, we are in contacts, and you have your list, and here you have the buttons, right, of contacts. So all of those buttons are in contacts. So now you get the advantage. You get the point that if I go to estimate, for example, or if I go to account, for example, if I go to account, I will replicate the same thing. That means I will say accounts here. I will put the list of account and all the buttons related here for accounts, right? So that's why this design here that I'm using for years now has been at the beginning invented especially for the iPad, right? Because I wanted a design that was looking good in desktop, iPad, and iPhone, and I want something that was easy to implement and easy to modify like this, right? So that's why this system here of navigation is the best, right? when you have. So let's say now, right, you want 3 levels of navigation, like we have here, like we have in the FM starting point, right? FM starting point, we have 3 levels. So let's go to accounts. We have the main level. We have the details list, and we have this one. So we have 3 levels, okay? So nothing is better than simplicity, okay? So on the iPhone, so that's why I came with this, right? Here, when you need to switch from one view to another, okay, on iPhone or stuff like that, right? On iPad, right? So most of the time, we use that paradigm. We use this, right? So you click here, you select this, and then you go there and you paste it, right? And you change to the navigation, okay. So you have details and list, right? And you can put that on the right. So now, detail list, right? So this is one way you can do. You have a toggle like this, right? You have a toggle. So it's something we see a lot. Try to find one. No, they use a lot of burgers because you can do something like this. For example, if you go, but this is an option. So if you go there, we go to Apple TV, for example, okay? And you see here, you have multiple, you have a burger, right? And you see that they use this blue stuff like, okay, and they use their, the same. Actually, I never noticed this, to be honest with you, but you have the blue icon and you have their white, the same version of the icon, but white and the text white with the blues. Okay. So with the burger in FileMaker, you can replicate this, right? Because we are in the list view, right? So you can easily mix both the different view style, right? List. You can have you can put whatever you want. You can put filters. This is one option. So you can have list view, detail view, right? List view. But in my opinion here, because the design is like when you do something, you think about something, right? So you can normally, when you have a 2 choice like this, okay, what you do, right? You build a button and you say list view, right? You can add an icon if you want. So you make it a little bit bigger, Okay. So you have a list view button. And when you go to the list view, right? When you land to the list view, you have a detail view, So you do the toggle like this, right? So in a detail view, you have one button that goes to the list view. And in the list view, you have a button that goes to the detail view. So you understand what I mean? Okay. So it's when you have multiple choice, right? you have another way to do that. It's the popover. And that could be nice too, because you can have that's what I was looking for. And I can't find one. Where is an app with maybe Discord? So YouTube, they have, right, the meatball menu and this one. So you tap here and you have a menu, right? So we can do the same with FileMaker here. I don't have the meatball menu icon here. I don't think so. Yeah, okay. I have this one, which is normally I should have the vertical one. You know, the kebab, that the meatball, but I want the kebab one. But it's okay. So we can do this. So you have a menu like this. I would rather do something like this with a very subtle gray background, very, very subtle, and put 100 like this. Right, put it like this, and I have my burger menu like, my meatball menu like this, right? And you can change the popover to be like this. And then inside, right, you can come with what's the name? The button bar if you want, or, in that case, I won't use a button bar personally. I will use a button, right? And say, go there, right? And go there and here, do this, whatever you want the button to be, right? You can use here action button. So highlights, rounded. Where's the shadow? Where's the button? I don't have a button. Okay, no, never mind. So yeah, because it's my UI design stuff. It's not the theme is not complete. But you see, you have a button like this, right? And you have a new level of navigation, right? So you click here, you have a navigation. That is the main navigation, the burger. And then you have the local navigation. We call that local navigation on the bottom. So things are organized, right? So you can have multiple levels. I have here, right? So do we have any questions?
Isn't this hamburger menu in a file we already have, FMSP?
Yes. So this is my version of FMSP, the Nick Hunter Extreme version. We have this. Okay. So you have the burger, you have everything there. So you can play with this. You have this type. That's what I want to do. So you can have another level of navigation. Doing like this. Because you can have popovers that doesn't look like popovers, right? See, like this one, right? So all of this is in FMSP the 22. Okay, so if we don't have any questions, can be anything. We're ready to land.
Yeah, I'm looking. I don't really see any at the moment.
So next week, I will. What's the name? I will do much more things for the iPhone. Okay. So we will explore the iPhone. So okay, now the iPad, because iPad and desktop. Like I said, we used to see the same UI, the same thing, but iPhone is really different. So it's really different and it makes everything more complicated. So iPhone will be much more That's why I want to do the iPad first, you know, because iPhone is more complex.
Okay, with that being said, that'll be really quite cool. We're looking forward to that. Thank you very much, Nick. I
Okay,
appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Yeah. Everyone have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank
you,
you.
Nick.
Thank you. See you tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir.